Thank you. So my Ignite session is going to be about pause, breathe, and lead, ways that I found to take care of myself as a principal. My name is Jamie Toland. I'm the principal at Rochester Intermediate School. You may be asking yourself, how did I end up dressed as a 6-foot tall inflatable snowman standing out in front of the school and greeting kids on a freezing December day? It's one of the ways I like to have fun with the job and try to help myself stay sharp in all I do. I really love this quote. I think it speaks both to what we do as principals and school leaders, but also how things affect us so fast in our personal lives. And unlike Ed Rooney, who was the villain in the movie, I feel like principals have a lot to offer. He may have felt like this at times also. Things coming at us from every single direction, being hit with meetings and requests and parent complaints and student discipline, state mandates, and everything else that comes along with the job. And there are days when I feel like all I do is sit and type at my computer, answer emails, respond to a whole myriad of things that get thrown at us as school leaders. And I can't be an effective leader the way I want to be sometimes. Our calendars sometimes look like rainbows with all the different colored meetings and supervisions and different things pulling us in all the different directions, leadership teams and SIP plans and all the things that we have to do that keeps us from doing our job and really bogs us down. And I got to a point a couple years ago when I felt exactly like this. So overwhelmed with the job, it was causing me to be negative. People were noticing outside of school how negative I'd become. And in lieu of making the wrong decisions, there were times when I just caved in on myself and refused to make a choice at all. So I asked myself, where do I start? I was at a point where I couldn't handle all the demands of the job on my own. So I felt like I needed to get help. For me, the first place I went was I definitely understood the adage, which was you have to put your oxygen mask on first. And I know we've heard that before, but it really is true. If we don't take care of ourselves, learn to breathe, and learn to be the best leaders we can be, the people that rely on us won't be there. So I went and spoke with my doctor, had a conversation with him about how I was feeling, the things I was struggling with, and I did a mental health survey with him. And from that conversation, really got the ball rolling in terms of ways I found I could help myself. I started it with counseling. I went into therapy sessions for a little over a year. And from those conversations and putting strategy in place to help me to cope with the demands of the job, I started with some medication to help me with my anxiety and dealing with all the stress we deal with. But outside of that, we have to find things in our lives that make us happy. And there's a whole host of different ways we can do that. I have a pretty unique story, and there's no way I can get through this next slide in 15 seconds with my enormous head on the screen. But I do work a sports broadcast for ESPN every summer. It's taken me around the world, and it's something I really look forward to. The fast pace of that job helps to slow down the demands of the school year. I'm in my 50s. I know it's really original, but I've started playing pickleball. I was in 2 leagues this summer. Not only is it good exercise and I get to meet new people, but it turns out all the people you meet out there don't always want to talk about school. Golf can be both a joy and an additional stress depending on how things are going. But it's always been something I've looked forward to doing in a way to get out of the office and enjoy my time outside. I've taken that to the next level. I have a group of really close friends who are also in education. And every summer we go to the Ozarks down usually sometime in July. Having that countdown on the calendar and that event to look forward to every year really helps break up the summer and the monotony of the school year and reset. For other people, it may be a fitness class, whether that's Pilates or yoga, CrossFit class, or even training for a 5K. Taking care of ourselves physically helps the mental and emotional stress that comes along with our jobs. But outside of the school, one thing I've found that's helped me a ton is getting out of the office and getting into the building. The kids and the staff, everybody in our building, that's who we do this for. And if we don't take those moments, we get too trapped in our own heads, in our own lives. My first assistant principal job, we used to get just overwhelmed from every single possible direction. The principal would always come down by my office and say, you know what, let's take a lap. We'd go outside and we'd walk around the school together. We'd vent and reset and get back to the day. And now that I work with younger kids, I've found that being in the classroom, sitting down with a 9-year-old in one of those unnecessarily small chairs and listening to them talk how excited they are about what they're working on in class, seeing the awesome work my teachers are doing, really helps. And you might be asking yourself, how did I end up in a fourth grade classroom getting my hair dyed pink by one of my fourth grade students and my assistant principal? It's my way of taking the time to enjoy what I do, remind myself it's all about the kids, pause, breathe, and lead. Thank you.